Hello, I'm Bailey Leisure, and this is my Super Bowl 53 preview and predictions video as I do an analysis of the game and my predictions of what the score will be and who will win Super Bowl 50. So to start off this video, I'm going to talk about the teams that are in Super Bowl 53. For the AFC, once again, it is the New England Patriots. Big shocker there. This is their third straight Super Bowl appearance. They're 11th overall. They are the third team to achieve this after the 1970s Miami Dolphins and the 90s Buffalo Bills teams the Bills team that went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. This is Tom Brady's 9th Super Bowl. I think Bill Belichick overall, this is his 13th if you count coach as a coach, overall as a head coach and as a coordinator. Tom Brady is the oldest quarterback at the age of 41 to start this game, and he's made statements that he does not plan on retiring if he wins his 6th Super Bowl ring. Obviously, they're looking for their 6th Super Bowl ring. I think it's really surprising. New England, they dominated the AFC once again, but it's kind of surprising considering how bad they looked. Pretty flawed in the regular season. They were 11-5. They were the 2nd seed. But they just, there was a couple games where they just did not, they looked like they were showing their age. The game against the Steelers, the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Miracle, the Detroit Lions game. It just looked like they were not the same New England Patriots. It seems like once they got into the playoffs, they flipped the script. They dominated the LA Chargers, and they went back and forth with the Kansas City Chiefs, and ultimately, thanks to a Rex Burkhead rushing touchdown, they were able to win in overtime, and they're going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. On the other side of it, the NFC, we got the Los Angeles Rams. This is their 4th Super Bowl appearance, first time since 2002, which they lost to the New England Patriots. That was the Patriots' first Super Bowl when they upset the greatest show on turf, and Adam Vinatieri hit that game-winning field goal, and that launched the New England Patriots dynasty that's still going on today. This is their first Super Bowl as the Los Angeles Rams since 1979, which they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Led by Sean McVay at age 33. I think he's the youngest head coach to coach a Super Bowl. Jared Goff is his quarterback. They're looking for their franchise's 2nd Super Bowl, as well as their first as the LA Rams. They beat the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round, and then they controversially beat the New Orleans Saints in overtime thanks to a Greg Zuerlein 57-yard field goal. So this is probably one of those Super Bowls that many people will consider is a little bit tainted after what happened in the conference championship games. The Roby Coleman hit that was not called, that should have led to a pass interference call that would have sent the New Orleans Saints to the Super Bowl. That a lot of people are mad about that, and New Orleans fans are still complaining towards the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell's about that call. And then it was not. Let's just put it this way: the conference championship weekend was not had horrible officiating. In the Kansas City Chiefs Patriots game on that final drive. In regulation, the Patriots, there was a call on Tom Brady, which probably was the worst roughing the passer call I've ever seen. Let's just put it this way, it was not officiated well at all, and I think that it's left a very tainted taste in a lot of football fans going into this. So keys for the New England Patriots to win their 6th Super Bowl ring and avenge the loss to the Philadelphia Eagles the previous year. I think the big story in this game is going to be Sony Michel. The check down game, he's literally, it's in past seasons, it's really a running back committee for the New England Patriots, but he's kind of flipped the script on that and has really been their number one running back. He's had a huge postseason, and I think he's been one of Tom Brady's biggest target, along with James White. James White's more of a big target in the passing game with Tom Brady, as he's caught a lot of passes. So I think those 2 players are going to be key to the New England Patriots' success in this game. Another key in this game will be Rob Gronkowski emptying the tank. He's been beat up. Just contemplating retirement after last year's Super Bowl. He just came back. He's looked very worn down from the injuries. He's had a decent postseason for what his standards are right now. And if I'm Rob Gronkowski, knowing this could potentially be your last game, I think he has to empty the tank and basically whatever he has left, he's got to use it. And in my opinion, if Gronk comes in, if he has at least statistics similar that he did in Kansas City, he makes some big catches like he did that catch in overtime against Eric Berry. I think the Patriots, they'll win this. Another key in this game is obviously Tom Brady sticking to the script. I think the big motto for the New England Patriots is do their job. Brady basically has to do that again. A fourth key in this game is the New England Patriots pass rush has been very good so far in this postseason. Not incredible, but I think the big key in this game, or in the Kansas City game, they were really able to put Patrick Mahomes in pressure situations, and it helped their team out when they got big sacks on third down that either backed them up and they got the ball in great field position, or I think in the second quarter of that game, they sacked Patrick Mahomes and they took him out of field goal range. As the Kansas City Chiefs were trying to build momentum in the first half. So if they're able to get to Jared Goff, and it's not going to be easy because the Rams have a pretty decent offensive line, I think that will be another key to them winning this game. So the X factors and probable MVPs for the New England Patriots, I think Tom Brady's obviously the number one. Big whoop there, and especially considering MVPs a lot of the times have gone to quarterbacks in recent Super Bowl history. I think Julian Edelman, he's definitely going to be a big X factor in this game, considering he's been Tom Brady's number one target, and the Patriots have something they didn't have last year's Super Bowl, which is him, and he's going to be a big factor in this game. And then Sony Michel, who's been one of their best offensive weapons, especially towards the end of the regular season when the Patriots were struggling. He definitely is what helped them get into the postseason and get the second seed. Keys for the Rams. I think the big factor in this game, Todd Gurley's been hurt, and he hasn't made a big impact in this did not make a big impact in the NFC Championship game, was on the bench for most of that game. I think ever since he went towards the end of the regular season when he was not playing for a couple games, he hasn't looked the same. I think he's going to be a huge factor in this game, and if Todd Gurley, if he can get back to his form, the Rams have a really good shot of winning this game. Brandon Cooks, I think, is another factor in this game, the former Patriot that, didn't get a lot of receiving targets, and it wasn't like he had a bad season with New England, but he didn't look as explosive as he did when he was with New Orleans. He's kind of got back to that form this year, and I think he's going to be very fired up to get not some revenge on the New England Patriots, but definitely he wants to prove a big point in this game, and he's definitely going to be the number one target for the LA Rams in this game. And I think if Jared Goff is able to connect on him, I think they'll put up big numbers. Third keys for the Rams' victory in this game, I think, as I said before, the offensive line for the Patriots versus the defensive line for the LA Rams. I think Aaron Donald, I think the big thing for him, and listen, that teams have not been able to do this against the Patriots in this postseason, which is this: put pressure on Tom Brady. If they're able to if Aaron Donald, is able to get to Brady, even if you don't sack him, if you are able to get to him, make the hits, get some quarterback hurries, knock him down, do whatever, without taking penalties, I think that's going to be a big factor. And then the final factor, I think, for the Rams, don't make mistakes against the New England Patriots. Just as simple as that. We saw what happened against the Chargers. We saw what happened, those mental errors that they made against the Chiefs made against the Patriots. I think the big key is, if don't take big sacks. If you have to throw the ball away, throw it away. Do not turn the ball over on offense. I think it's just plain and simple as that, because the New England Patriots will make you pay. So if it's Sean McVay and Jared Goff, their game plan, don't make mistakes. Do not turn the ball over, and do not waste opportunities if you get them. So that's going to just be the key to their game. The X factor and probable MVPs for the LA Rams will be Jared Goff. If he can pull off a Nick Foles from last year's Super Bowl, I think definitely he's going to be a key player for this game. And it's weird because it's kind of weird in these quarterbacks, because the Patriots don't need Brady to have big numbers in this game, but if he does, it's a big factor, and they usually win the game. Jared Goff, I think it's probably the same case because of the weapons around him, with C.J. Anderson and Brandon Cooks and Todd Gurley. I think for him, it's really just stick to the game plan. Manage the game, and you'll probably win. Brandon Cooks, obviously, if he can put up big numbers against his former team, I think that will be a big thing. Todd Gurley, if he can get it going, I think that will be a big factor. My predictions for this game, I think this will be a pretty close game where I think either team probably could have the slight edge over whoever. But I think New England, seems like every time we doubt them, and especially this year, that they make a comeback. And they just not looked flawed in the postseason. The Rams, there's debate if that call did. A lot of people think they should be in the Super Bowl after that call. But I think this is a pretty close game. I think it's a one-score game like it was last year. And so I'm going to go, I think experience is going to be a big factor once again. And I'm going to go with the New England Patriots to win this game 28-24 as they win their 6th Super Bowl. And I think the probable MVP will be Tom Brady. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl? Leave in the comments section below. Who do you think will be big factors in this game as well? As always, follow me on Twitter at BaileyLeisure96. Click like if you like the video. Subscribe. And like I said before, leave your comments below in the comments section. Check out in the description below for a link to my previous video that came out earlier this week, my thoughts on the NFL 2019 NFL coaching changes. And also, check out in the description below for past Super Bowl predictions that I've made. This is my 4th Super Bowl prediction overall. I think when it comes to correct and incorrect predictions, I'm 1-2 in Super Bowls. So you can see how either good the videos came out or how bad they came out. So thanks everybody for watching, and hope you guys have a good Super Bowl weekend, and I'll see you next week.